4 years. Today is 4 years since Austin has been seen or heard from by any friends or family. He was abducted by the Wicked Witch of West Vancouver, Alice Sellers, who's mentally unstable and violent, and Frank Sellers, who's an alcoholic and violent and must be mentally unstable to still be living with Alice because he fears losing money. And that's why he won't divorce her or call the cops on her when she goes on her insanity rants. He not once ever protected me. But then I guess you can't really expect somebody who molested you as a child to protect you when your psychotic Alice is ranting and raving, beating me, even beating me while I was pregnant, beating me in front of my child, beating me in public places. The cops do nothing. They completely ignore it. They ignore the fact that she said she's going to hire a hitman for 10 grand to kill me. She told me every day of my life how I should kill myself and how much she hated me and how much I was a big mistake and having children was the worst thing she ever did in her life. So why is it that she decided to abduct my child? Well, because she molested him when he was an infant and we lived in a safe house to get away from her. And I cut her off from having anything to do with my child to protect him. And her retaliation was to file for full custody of him. And she was denied any access. So she stormed out of the courtroom and said she was going to get Austin one way or another. And this is what she's done. She's now used her money and power and her psychotic genius to abduct my child. So now he's being lied to, told that I don't love him and I don't want him. And yes, I know these things because these are things she said to him when he was little before I cut her off. He was too young to remember the fact that she was molesting him or telling him these horrible things or beating me in front of him or beating me while I was holding him or the fact that she dumped a 2-liter of milk on my head while I was holding him and he was a few months old and had just fallen asleep. And then she went on a psychotic rant and told me how that was my fault. Look what you made me do. These are the kinds of psychotic things that cult leaders say and do for their brainwashing techniques. When you watch any cult show, word for word, the things that they say to their victims is what Alice would say to me. Tina is violent herself, as that's what happens when you grow up in a violent household, is you are taught to be a violent, crazy person. And she would try and kill me with knives on several occasions. She's tried to stab me, ripped my stitches out of my head, ripped hair out of my head, chased me around the house. That windows got broken for me trying to escape her and protect myself, which then I got in shit for the windows being broken. Not Tina getting in shit for trying to kill me. It's me getting in shit for the fact that I dared try to protect myself and accidentally had windows break in the process. Because this is the psychotic household I grew up in. I was told ever since I was a small child that Tina's getting all the inheritance and I'm getting nothing. So will she ever stand up against them and tell the truth? No. Because when you're told that you're getting the millions of dollars all to yourself, why would you? You would keep your mouth shut, wouldn't you? Especially when she didn't have the abuse as harshly as I did. And I think she kind of lives in denial because when I tried to talk to her about it one time, she said, well, Alice just says that because she loves us. That's not love when you're calling your children losers and telling them they're the worst mistakes of your life and how you're going to run away and never come back and how one day they're going to be shocked when they wake up and you're gone. That's not what a loving mother says to her children. And she also doesn't beat them for having learning disabilities and call them retarded and tell them that they're an embarrassment to her. And that's what I was told all the time. Instead of getting me help and trying to understand where I was coming from or my disabilities or what I needed to get through school, I was beaten and berated and screamed at every day about how I was so stupid and why did I come home with homework again, and how I'm such an embarrassment because I can't behave in public because I would be like too shy to talk to people and run away. And she'd always say that she was cursed because other people had good children who would do what they're told and go to school and get good grades and just sit there and be quiet and not embarrass their parents. But all Alice was cursed with was a couple of ungrateful bitches, according to her. Losers that she wishes she never had. So why is it that she has my Austin? Because she wants power and to prove that she still has control over me. She can't stand the fact that I got away and that she had no relationship with me because she's a psychotic, horrible person, and that she can't have normal relationships with her children and have any kind of loving relationship with anybody. I've never seen her have a friend. I've never seen her have a friend that she has like heart-to-heart conversations with and can trust and go out with on a regular basis. No, she has superficial friendships that only last for a certain period of time because she shit talks people so much. When the truth is she hates herself and she takes it out on everybody else. And now that's what she's doing. She abducted my child, Austin, and she's keeping him hostage in West Vancouver so that she has another victim to lord over and have control over and brainwash, and she's lying to him and yelling at him every single day about how much I don't want him and I don't love him anymore, and he doesn't know the truth because he's not allowed to talk to his friends or family. He's not allowed to talk to anybody he's ever known in his entire life. And if he was in a safe place and being told the truth, then Alice wouldn't be afraid of Austin talking to his family and friends. She wouldn't be keeping him hostage from the truth. But that's her biggest fear, is that he's going to find out the truth. And that's why I'm not allowed to see him, and he's not allowed to see anybody he's ever seen or heard from in his entire life, because he's being kept away from the truth, so that Alice has another victim of her abuse and her cult. And the sad thing is, if I had the money, I could find the right kind of lawyer to get my son out of this mess and to safety. But because I don't have the money to do that, my child is being abused. So anybody in West Vancouver who comes across Austin, Scotland, make sure you get him help. Get him somewhere safe and get him away from those crazy people, because he doesn't know the truth about anything that's happened to him in the past 4 years.